Cassian, thanks for taking the time to sit down with me.
Thank you.
So, Cassian, this isn't the first time that you've played a different version of Brother Dawn. You played multiple versions in season 1, 2 vastly different versions.
Yeah.
What is your North Star? What grounds you as the character across all these different iterations of Brother Dawn?
I think that even though they're distinct, I mean, the two in season 2, in season 1 are completely different people. So let's discount that horrible English version. But with this season and season 1, the thing that makes Dawn distinct from the other Cleons and from the other Dawns is that he's a lot more open-hearted. He's a lot more, he allows himself to be a lot more vulnerable and let his interior life out in a way that I feel like the other two, I think there's something about the middle throne and that amount of responsibility and power that means you can only really be the public figure. You can only really be the hardened man at the front. And there's something that whenever I'm stuck in a scene and think, oh, how can I differentiate Brother Dawn from the others? That's my way in, is how can I find the kindness in this? How can I find a way through that isn't through destruction and power? Because that tends to be the Cleonic way, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm stuck. Well, let me just destroy everything in my path. And I think Dawn is lighter on his feet than that. And I think as much as he's thought of as sweet and kind, I actually think he's far more intelligent than that. I think he can also use his sweetness to manipulate. And I feel like that's what we see in this season, is he's using his ability with people to get what he wants and to find an escape in a way that the people skills of the other Cleons aren't great.
Sure. I mean, but in speaking of the other Cleons, I mean, we get to see more of you with Lee, more of you with like Terrence. Like, how was it kind of like figuring out that ballet of like just something simple as having dinner, but being like clockwork, all of you doing the same thing?
And ballet is such a good way of putting it because there's even a scene in this season where we are with a movement coach who, despite our genetic differences, is trying to make us all act in the same way. I think the joy of the part, as in Cleon overall, for the three of us is finding moments where we can all align and be the same, and then finding moments when we can break the rules. I think of it a bit like jazz music. It's like after you know the piece really well, then you can sort of riff and have fun with it, I think.
I got time for one more. And now that you've, this is such a post-production heavy show, so ambitious. Now that you've seen season 1, how is it kind of like, having seen that final version, recalibrating your expectation and going into season 2?
I think the sets on this show speak for themselves, and they're really not that different to watching it at home. You walk on these sets and they are immense, and the detail is just incredible. So the final product isn't that distinct from what we are lucky enough to experience when we're on set. But certainly Chris McLean's work on this job, I mean, the VFX it really gives this added layer of scale to this show, that it's not just one planet here, one planet there, it's really galaxy-wide. And certainly when it comes to playing the Cleons and playing Brother Dawn, you have an idea of their political power and their strength. Certainly walking around the sets you do, but it's not until you see Lee do this and a whole planet explodes that you really realize, wow, like this is a whole other level. Not only as Brother Dawn, but also as Cassian as an actor. Like the scale of this show is just incredible.
Well, you can see that heightened scale on July 14th with season 2 on Apple TV+. This is Sam Stone, CBR. Cassian, thanks for taking the time.
Pleasure, thanks so much.